Okay, so how many of us, just show of hands, has actually been on a treadmill? Oh, good. That's a lot of people. Okay, so you see, years ago, I absolutely hated running, okay? But I would get into gear, get on the treadmill. I'm like, all right, Toes, come on, let's do this. I'm like, okay, 4 minutes tops, let's do it. But you see, somebody from somewhere comes to the treadmill right next to me, even though there's so much space everywhere else in the gym. And I'm like, bitch? Like, you not clog my space? But you see, the problem was not with that girl. The problem was with me, because you see, when she puts an inclination of 7, I'm like, honey, I could do 8. When she puts a speed of 10, I'm like, girl, I could do 12. But jokes aside, I actually ended up hating running even more, because I wasn't running my race on my own pace. I was running someone else's pace. You see, the title of my talk is called Staying on Your Lane. Over 20 years of my life, I promise I'm not that old, over 20 years, I compared myself to other people, and I was constantly being compared to. I compared myself to my beautiful brother, who I love so much, but he's a scientist, you see. He's good at maths. He's good at, just getting everyone to love him. And I always wanted to be like that. So I was doing sciences at school. I was doing all of these things that wasn't actually me. I was comparing myself to my housemates, to my best friend who started applying for grad jobs. And I panicked. I'm like, ooh, I don't know what to do. So I started applying for grad jobs that were actually not reflecting my own strengths. You see, 2 years ago, I decided no more. No more. I am tired of trying to be like somebody else. I am tired of constantly sweating just like a treadmill, over and over again, trying to run on someone else's pace, but actually end up the same place I started. You see, 2 years ago, I told myself, look, Toluwa, I am just going to do me. You see, I wonder if as a generation with so much passion, so much potential, so much to give, so much knowledge, if we actually stop looking left and right and actually start focusing on our lane. You see, my talk today is saying it's only when you stay on your lane can you grab your full potential, can you understand your strengths, can you work on your weaknesses. Because if you constantly look left and right at other people, how can you know yourself? See, I'm not trying to say don't learn from other people. I'm saying don't try and clone somebody else. Life is too short. You've got to live your life. You have to realize your potential as a young generation. You see, the theme of this talk is called It All Starts with Passion. But I am convinced that the destruction of passion is in fact comparison. You see, the destruction of your joy, of your identity, of knowing your purpose, of knowing where your strengths can get to, is in fact comparison. See, comparison will cloud your clarity. It would cloud your judgment. It would make you feel like you are weak, like you have nothing to offer to that essay, that you have nothing to offer in that job, that you have nothing to offer when you actually have so much to give. You see, I don't know if I'm talking to somebody here today. I don't know if you're sitting here right now comparing yourself to your housemate. If you're sitting here right now comparing yourself to your best friend or to your brother, to your sister. But you see, the next time you go to class and you see everyone answering questions and you start to doubt yourself, you need to remember that the thief of joy is comparison. The next time you go to that interview, when you start to doubt yourself and you think, well, everyone else is good, what can I offer? You need to think the thief of joy is comparison. The next time you go to somewhere and people are asking you, what can you give? And you get so overwhelmed by the problem and you say, you know what, I'm just going to relax. You need to remember that the thief of joy is comparison. I wonder what it would look like if as a generation we just started to get up and go. That we stop looking at other people, what other people are doing. We started to work on our strengths. We started to focus on our weaknesses. You see, 2 years ago became the best time of my life. Because I wouldn't be standing here on stage if it wasn't for the fact that I stopped wanting to be like my brother. I wouldn't be standing here on stage working for one of the dream jobs that I've always had if I always wanted to be a scientist. I realized years ago that I love talking to people, I love working with children. And then I told myself, I'm going to start finding opportunities that actually relate to me. If there's one thing you take away from this talk today, let it be this. Stay on your lane. Run your race at your own pace. Work on yourself. And just do you. Thank you.